People would like to join God's mission. They would like to do something extraordinary with their money, with their prayers, with their lives. And most of them don't get the chance to be a missionary. They don't get a chance to serve in the front line of mission. But they want to serve in all these other ways. They want to volunteer. They want to support. They want to pray. They want to be the ones who encourage those who are going. So if we really want to develop partnerships in our mission, we have to open our doors and take our eyes off the foundations and put our eyes on the people that God has placed around us, on the churches, on the communities, on individuals, and start praying and thinking and working out ways to invite them to participate in God's mission work through our church or through our organization. Because God wants the community of all believers to have that unity in mission, to be joined together for a purpose. And what a privilege it can be for you and your organization to be the catalyst of that movement, to be that ministry that stands in the middle, that connects God's people to God's causes, that gives them opportunities to participate in God's mission locally and around the world. You know, monthly giving, regular giving means predictable income throughout the year. So you know that people who gave regularly last year, up to 70 or 90% of them will continue to give this year. So that is money you can, in your budget, kind of take over and say, we will have this money, potentially we will use it to continue our work. There is a lifetime value of supporters. That is the most valuable thing in fundraising, is how long are these people going to stay involved with your cause. So the best fundraisers are those who actually keep supporters involved for the long time. And those regular contributions, and it could be monthly, it could even be 4 times a year, or some people might give large amounts just twice a year. So, you know, by regular in general, we mean recurring, that those gifts are repeated at sort of regular intervals, and those donors continue to give in that way. And you can plan for your ministry programs. And from these donors who sometimes give small or medium amounts, we actually look into them, start having conversations with them, call them on the phone, meet them up, and see whether there is a possibility for some of them to become major supporters. So you just have to be, you know, to have that posture of listening, of engaging, of answering them, of thanking them well, so that you can increase giving. And benefits to supporters, they are amazing, and they should always outweigh the benefits to us, because everything we do should be more easy, more convenient, more bringing more joy to supporters. And you can have continuing conversations with them because they are your supporters. And when you share more stories with them, then you can actually build a stronger partnership and a stronger connection to your mission work. We identify potential monthly donors. And you might think, oh, where do I find these people? Well, there are people you already know, people who already love you and your work. Think of people who can give you money. Think of people who maybe can come and every month volunteer their time to help you with your programs. So you're not paying people all the time to do God's work, but some people are just freely donating time, and that time translates in a way into money. And people who can bring gifts and who can bring practical offerings that can be used for the work that you are doing. It's important to create a fundraising proposition for your monthly giving. The best and most effective thing is to create a proposition for a monthly giving program. And you use this program consistently for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years. So it is the same proposition. You might change the story, but the ask is pretty much the same. So it starts with, what is the problem? What is an ongoing need that requires consistent support? So the solution is what a ministry can do to address this need. You know, why would monthly support matter? What is it that a monthly gift is going to achieve? So you know what the problem is. There is a need for training. There is a need for resources and pastoral support. You have the solution. You can provide the training on an ongoing basis, provide materials, and you are inviting now the supporter to come to step into the story and to be able, through their monthly gifts, to actually release you to do this training and to put resources into the hands of people in remote communities, for example. Suggested monthly amounts, really important, because donors are busy people. So I would really recommend that you have clear amounts that make that decision easy. The amount you can use as a monthly gift is their average gift divided by 3. So, for example, if the average gift is 60, then suggested monthly options can be 10, 20, or 30. These monthly amounts, by the way, also have to then relate to something that can be achieved with that amount. So they have to relate to real, genuine activities in your organization. The program won't fly unless you actually create the materials that are going to enable you to get your message out about your regular giving program. Materials that you're going to use to share this invitation with your different audiences. So you need to create a page that relates to the story of your monthly giving program, that has photos from your monthly giving program of the main character of Pastor Sam, for example, and tells their story a little bit, and then has these invitations with the suggested amounts that you are also going to publicize or to use through different channels. But use these emails and WhatsApp messages in context of relationships and friendships. Don't use this as the first thing you send to somebody you have just met. But the point through all of these activities is that you use this as an approach that throughout the year you can promote regular giving to people who are already supporting your work, to new people, to different events you go to. Just use the same story, use the same message. Ask God first before you ask people. And this is what we would like to encourage each one to do. Don't think of funding as a secular activity, as something boring and hard and difficult, and it requires only special secular skills. Funding, requesting funding, building faithful funders, faithful partners, faithful supporters is also a spiritual ministry. And that spiritual ministry starts with prayer. When we come before God in prayer and ask for His provision, then God will open doors and He will bring people to our path who are willing to join us. For me, fundraising is defined as finding and keeping the right kind of people. Finding and keeping people. Fundraising isn't about money. Fundraising is about people. It's about relationships. And then growing in their hearts the love for the people you serve, because people give out of love. Their hearts are broken for the unreached. Their hearts are broken for those who are being divorced and having financial problems. Their hearts are broken for children, for young people, for the sick, for the suffering. And people give because of that brokenness, because of that desire that they want to put their money where their heart is, with the Lord, because of being that channel of good news and of hope and of practical help to others. So as fundraisers, we are really ministers to supporters. And if we excel in that role, then the funding follows. The first one is go and identify your best potential monthly donors. Have a look at your current list of supporters, of friends, a handful of people, 10, 15, 20. Look at their past giving. Look at the level of relationships you have with them. They love you, your ministry. They've invested in you in the past. They are potentially your new monthly donors. And then look at the stories your ministry shares and pick up 1 or 2 stories that can best illustrate an ongoing need, an ongoing solution that your ministry offers. Identify your best potential monthly donors. Identify the story that shows the problem, the solution, and the opportunity for supporters to give small amounts. And think of a powerful, biblical, fun name you could call your monthly giving program. And as you name it, that program slowly will begin to come into being by the next steps you will take